My name's Kevin Fives. I had this procedure done with Dr. Frank about 3 years ago. One of the things that I had problems with is I would get abscessed infections, which is extremely painful and somewhat dangerous if you don't get medicated for them. It was something that continuously happened. It was frequent enough that every 6 months I had an infection in a tooth, and after the infection was cleared, you would end up having that tooth pulled. So one by one, these teeth were coming out anyway. And then when I found out the diagnosis that all the teeth would have to come out, that's when I moved to Dr. Frank and Albany Smiles, and he really took care of it from there. I went in with a toothache. I thought, I'll have a tooth pulled. I was headed to Mexico. We were going on vacation. I was gonna have my tooth pulled. I went into the dentist. He said, "You have an abscess." I said, "I know, we've done this many times." I took the antibiotic. He took an x-ray and he said, "Well, I got some bad news." He said, "All your teeth have to come out." And I said, "No, they don't." He said, "Well, we're gonna pull them out and we're gonna put a denture in." And I said, "That's just not an option for me. That's just not an option." So I ended up getting a second opinion, and Dr. Frank was the second opinion. And he's been amazing since. And I was a prime candidate for this kind of surgery. So I had spots of bone where the teeth weren't that were very solid. So therefore the studs took very well. They healed in very well. Very minimal pain for me. I'm not really a pain guy, so I can't speak to other people's pain levels on it. For me, it was painless. Coming into this, not knowing what the expectations would be originally, I would say my expectations have been met and exceeded. Dr. Frank, again, his transparency and his communication through the entire process is amazing. His team here as well, Rose and the rest of the ladies here are amazing as well. Constantly staying in contact with everybody to make sure everything goes the way it should. With these large-scale hybrid dentures, there's a lot of coordination. There's a lot of measurements. Everything is very precise. Dr. Frank takes the time to do the measurements, get it correctly, and we did it the first time. You don't want to pay for these twice. So he's been great so far with that. So for me, the pain of a toothache and an abscess every 6 to 8 weeks or every 5 months was way worse than anything that they could have done. So, and 3 years I've yet to have any dental issues since then. So whatever I've saved on not having teeth pulled and abscesses and everything else is more than help compensate for investing in the teeth themselves. I've had the hybrid denture for a few years. The function of it is so much better than a regular denture, as in it is fixed. I don't feel any differently than I did when I had teeth. But I eat corn on the cob. I eat hard candy, I chew gum. Any of those things are still possible, which would not be possible with a regular denture. So for me, as just a lifestyle choice, and I'm a little bit vain, so I didn't want to take my teeth out and set them onto the nightstand, which is okay for some people, but for me, it just didn't work. So for me, the form, function, and the confidence that comes behind it, the teeth that Dr. Frank put together, they look very natural. They don't appear as a denture at first sight. And to be honest with you, the smile that he produced compared to my natural smile was actually better.